This is Olympian alternate Jake Clark. He's a 10-time national champion, a master of the arm drag, a behemoth of a man that I hope won't eat me, and a jiu-jitsu brown belt. I've decided to do my craziest challenge yet by taking him on in a jiu-jitsu round. And my worst idea yet is I'm actually going to try and wrestle with him.
I'm not going to eat you because I chipped my front tooth the last time I tried to do that to somebody, so.
In the past, I've done jiu-jitsu rounds with other wrestlers, against people who whoop my ass, and I'll continue to fight anybody for exciting content. But against an Olympian, I'm not sure what I got myself into. I'm always telling people how great wrestling is, so I'm going to try and wrestle him even if it sucks for me. Oh look, it's definitely sucking for me. I've been rolling with this guy for only 10 seconds, which is pretty long for most men, and I'm already underneath him fighting for my life. Jake is trying to finish me off with a front head choke. Matt Hughes was able to do this many years ago and gave wrestlers confidence all around the world, but in my opinion, it's just a weaker version of an anaconda. I'm able to survive his first attack and he lets go, but he still has massive control over the top of my neck. And I can sense the pressure of him trying to set it up again, so I'm moving on bottom as much as I can, but trust me, moving underneath an Olympian is no easy feat. He gets tired of the choke and sees his next meal by pulling my ankle and driving me forward. His 220-pound frame is devastating to work under. I'm pretty used to defending against jiu-jitsu guys in the bottom front head, so I feel safe here, but it's a different pressure entirely when he's throwing it on me. I find a few moments where I can work up off my knees so I can start standing, but he throws on the chin strap. This is one of my favorite moves I'm always submitting other people with, and I teach in my guillotine instructional, and the secret is that I stole it from wrestling and I've just applied jiu-jitsu techniques to it. Now you'll notice I'm constantly throwing my hips to the side, and that's because he's throwing the Matt Hughes choking pressure on me, and every time he does, I need to switch or get submitted. I'm also baiting him to take my back so I can roll for a footlock, but instead he's smart and keeps the front head pressure heavy. He shoves my head into my crotch and makes me wear my ass for a hat, then further insults me by throwing on a cow catcher. For the unaware, a cow catcher is a one-handed guillotine where you use one arm to choke and one arm to pull them into the choke. Jake is taking it straight out of my textbook and I'm feeling the pressure of it. My one saving grace is that I can post on my left elbow. This is relieving the pressure just a tiny bit so my face isn't directly in his rib cage. But I'm fading fast and I do not want to get guillotined by this guy. I know I have to go deeper in the choke if I want to get out, but it gets dark for me real quick until I can finally pop my head out and I'm safe from that choke for now. But have you forgotten, I have this meaty wrestler on top of me and things are not looking good for me. Side control is his favorite position, but I've been in worse spots without tapping before, so I gotta get out of here. I try and sink my weight lower, but it's no good. If I do that too much, he'll isolate an arm and he'll Kimura me or Americana me. So my other option is to try and turn into him. If you're a guillotine master, this is generally a blessing. But considering I got out of the first one just barely, I knew I could get out of another one if I needed to. And this time it gave me an opportunity to at least get to guard and I can try and wrap him up. But like a true and savvy athlete, the second I'm getting to a better position, he decides he's gonna disengage.
All right, I'm not wrestling with him.
My new game plan is to act like a jiu-jitsu black belt. I'm butt scooting my way to victory, but he has a smarter plan of posting away, keeping me at distance and staying heavy on his butt, making it tough for me to enter in on the legs. If I were betting on this match, I'd say things aren't looking too good for me. And on that note, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, DraftKings. We just watched an electrifying UFC 300 and they're coming back this weekend with UFC 301 and DraftKings wants you in on the action. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you need to do is download the app and use promo code Tyler Spangler to get this bonus. As long as you deposit the $5, that $200 bonus bets can be used on any fight. So if you think Jose Aldo is going to come back to the UFC and completely storm the division, placing a line play may be in your favor. Or if you want a bigger payout, you can try and do same game parlays, combine multiple bets, see how the fighter will win, and any method of victory. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code Tyler Spangler and bet just $5 on any wager to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Getting back into the action, we see I'm in a pretty familiar position. He's forcing me to lick the mat while avoiding all of his chokes, which is a full-time job for me at this point. I've also lost half my brain cells defending against these chokes, but I find a breath of fresh air as he gets tired from going from the submission and drives me forward. This is my one opportunity to go for a leg entangle, but he quickly puts his weight on his butt so I can't have any entry. I even try and give him my back so he's forced to engage, but he won't do it. This is why wrestling is so important, because if you can't take them down and they don't want to play the game, you're going to get boned when you're trying jiu-jitsu. At the same time, good luck trying to take down an Olympian. This behemoth of a man certainly knows what he's doing and he knows how to keep me at bay and only go in on his terms. It's easy to watch from the outside and say just go for a takedown, but I can't risk shooting and having this happen to me. So I sit on my ass again. I'm desperate to get any grip I can over this guy, so I go for a quick chin strap, but he throws his head to the side. So I try and make some space, but he stays on top of me, so I'm stuck to the mat. Then I know I can't stand to wrestle with him, and he snaps me in the front head. Shit, I'm in this position all over again. Jake is showing me that he's a bull that just won't stop, which is why I'm sure he had so much success in his wrestling career. The reason he can't get this choke is because he's not leaning his shoulders into me from a higher position. When Matt Hughes did it, notice how he got on top and then drove down to put his opponent fully to sleep. That provides a better bite over the neck, and it makes it tougher for me to hand fight because I have to worry about the pressure on the back of my neck. But this is like an unstoppable force attacking an immovable object. I'm not going to go up to that submission no matter what, so he's to drive me forward and shoves me into full guard as he tried to get to side control, and I was able to shrimp my way to freedom. From here we do a lot of patty cake. I finally hand fight just enough to get underneath his shoulder, but he stiff arms me so hard that I thought he was going to kill me. I try and scoop underneath him, but he does a great job pushing me away and framing against me. So I say fuck it, and I go for a wrestle up, trying to go for a quick knee tap, and wow, what a mistake that was. But the worst part is that when I was in this front head, I didn't realize what a huge mistake I actually made. I could have spent the rest of the round in guard trying to fight, but instead he went to my backside and attacked my ankle and drove me forward. I'm being a limp noodle on bottom, not trying to expose too much of my body, but in the transition, I left my neck open, and he hits the same cow catcher from before. I go to post off the mat to try and defend, but my face is already in his ribs, so I'm stuck, and I have to tap out. Great job by Jake, he's a hell of an athlete, and I love to see that he combines so much of his wrestling with jiu-jitsu.
Strong guy, strong guy.